So Siri needs to be used at like work and at home. She is so beautiful. Oh my word, wow. The lady that is walking past is so gorgeous. So she is beautiful. Anyway, what was I talking about? So my production script. So one of the episodes needs to include, like, Siri needs to be a part of her speech, like it needs to be not a part of a character. And this character, like, I wonder what her name should be, but I definitely wouldn't mind playing myself, because this is actually about me. So yeah, it's my TV show. It's about me. It's just dramatized. So, except not that I have to dramatize the things that I did or experienced. Okay, such as I did not have to dramatize quitting Pixelogic last year, and honestly, it's just like, so I learned something today. Okay, hold on, I'll talk about that in a different thing. But yeah, I'm leaving what isn't behind and looking forward to what's ahead. Yeah, so I'm focused on my new job. I'm just like not even gonna. Yeah, I'm just gonna look at Pixelogic differently. Like I said 7 months ago, no, 6, almost 7. No, yeah, almost 7 months ago, is that Pixelogic is my client. Pixelogic is my client. Like, I remember saying that when either it was before I quit or like the day I quit or after, but I see them as my client. Yeah, no, definitely way before I quit, like at least like about a month, within a month before I quit, I saw Pixelogic as my client, and I just thought, okay, it is definitely time for me to quit. I mean, doing it this way is not in the cards for me. It was not in the cards for me at all. I was not gonna quit Pixelogic for at least 10 years. But then 2024, I had this goal, and I said in 6 months to a year I'm gonna quit. And I only said that to my pastor, his wife, and the rest of the small group that I was with, the Bible study that we had at and Andrea's house. Andrea is the pastor's wife, the pastor's Andile. They're very dear to me. I love them very much. They're a family to me, and I definitely want to keep going to the church. I want to still be a part of the church. It's my home, and yeah. So I changed. I said I was gonna quit in 10 years, and not because it's not about Pixelogic why I was. Okay, it would technically be about Pixelogic why I quit, because I knew that after 10 years, God would not want me within 10 years, God would not want me at this job still. Not because, oh my gosh, there's something wrong with the people, like you need to leave. It was one of, like, I will always say this, I'll never take my word back. I don't care what news articles may ever occur in the future about Pixelogic. I'm not saying that there's stuff that needs to be written about, unless it's to talk about how awesome Pixelogic is, in terms of in terms of so many things. And yeah, but like, I know that God, it's because I know I'm a businesswoman. Look, I'm a businesswoman, and so I cannot like stay. I couldn't stay there for ever. So I mean, okay. Let me break it down how I saw myself there at Pixelogic. So the timeline for the 5 years that I was there, it was, I was like, I could retire here. I wouldn't mind. I said that. Of course not, like, I would have other jobs as well. I would have multiple streams of income, but I'm still working for Pixelogic. So I was like, I could retire here. I want to retire here. And then it was also when I got my job at Pixelogic, my relationship with God, things were happening. So I was getting to know God more, and as a non-believer, or not a non-believer, but maybe a non-believer, just like I wasn't a Christian. Let me just put it that way. Is that what a non-believer is? People believe in something. So then I started knowing more. I was like, okay, I know this is God's voice. I recognize that this revelation I'm having is from God, and I can back it up with scripture. Or sometimes I wouldn't even need to necessarily reference the book. Like I could immediately reference the scriptures, like go to the Bible. Like it's just like some of the scriptures, they were on my heart already. But I didn't know the scriptures yet, in terms of literally going and reading it for the first time. So the one thing was my taste in music. It hasn't changed necessarily. It's just the artists that I listen to, that has changed. So, and I mean, I didn't do it because I was like, oh, Christians can't do this. I wasn't even a Christian at the time, for one. I wasn't even reading the Bible during this time, because I have had experiences with Bibles throughout my life, whether it's just having one in my room and not reading it, or whether it's just having opened it on a random page in the middle of the night and just saying, okay, whatever page this lands on, people say that God could be saying something here for you, so just just go with it. And then so I would open it on that page and I would quickly read something, not understanding what it says, and I would put it on my heart, literally. Oh my gosh, I'm having such a revelation right now. Oh my gosh, I actually did sow the word in my heart when I was doing that. That's so funny. But literally, I had this blue Bible that I got from school, in high school, and I oh my gosh, it's so cute. So it was this blue Bible, this navy blue Bible, and softish, fairly soft cover, and so not very uncomfortable to sleep with. And it was a miniature booklet, and I believe it must have only just had the New Testament, maybe, or I don't even remember what books of the Bible were in this booklet, in this mini Bible. So then anyway, I would randomly, cause I felt that demons were watching me when I was growing up, and maybe they were, maybe they weren't, but I definitely did with my thinking and stuff, and a lot of other factors that were not as a result of my thinking and nothing to do with my actions at all or anything that I did. So with a combination of me and other factors such as people, and hold on. When I say people, I just have to quickly, I don't know how my tone sounds sometimes, and I've actually started asking people for feedback on my tone, because to me sometimes I feel like I'm being so rude, and I'm really not interested in being rude to anybody. I have no desire to do that. And so when I said people, I meant, I'm really analyzing this as I come to speak. I'm just gonna move on, dude. Like, whatever, who cares? Anyway, yeah, I actually love that I moved on. That's like so much better for me. I don't care how confused people may sound at this point if they listen this far. Or when, because I mean, there's definitely going to be at least 5 people in the world that have listened this far. Oh, it's only 10 minutes. Oh, look. Chill out, bro. It's only 10 minutes. You can endure. Okay, yeah. So the Bible, it was soft-ish. And then I would open it on any random page, and I thought, like, gosh, a Bible a day keeps the demons away just came to mind. I know it's corny, but, that's what I believed. Not in those words when I was a teenager, but just like, I was like, okay, for some reason, I really believe it when people say, if I say Jesus, demons, like, they will definitely leave. Like, they will. I always believed that. And now, so the one thing I would say, and I would say it sometimes, I think I would say it out loud most of the time, whether it was soft or loud, because of course I don't want to yell and the whole house is sleeping. I don't want to always be yelling, in the name of Jesus, I command you to leave. Not that I ever yelled that, at least not in that house, but I've definitely yelled when I was living alone. Because living alone, I mean, I let loose a little more with my relationship with God, in terms, or not even, oh my gosh, yeah, that's with my relationship with God, but also with other things. I mean, I'm a little more bold when I'm alone and in my own space, because I'm not worried about noise complaints. And that is the only reason. I honestly, at this point in my entire life, I don't care if people think I'm crazy, because I know that I'm not. So it's like, and I'm quite confident that a lot of people don't think that about me, but I have had people call me crazy. People that mattered to me, and not just like random people on the streets, like people that mattered to me called me crazy. Not a lot, a very small amount. I mean, like a very small amount of people, but I only remember one person who called me crazy. So yeah, like, that person is so wrong for that. And so he called me that. So I gave you a clue. I'm not gay. Yeah. But also, what I mean, yeah, no, I gave you a clue. It's a guy. Yeah, woohoo. And he called me crazy, or asked me if I forgot what, like, he I don't remember word for what he said, but like, basically, he handled the situation like I was crazy, and I didn't think I believed him, but then I started actually, like, it planted a seed, and I realized that weeds were coming out, and I was like, oh my gosh, there's a growth here, there's something is happening here, there's like, I actually, even if it's just 1% of me started thinking I'm crazy. And not even crazy, not just crazy, but like mentally ill, because I think crazy it's very broad of a word, but I started thinking I'm mentally ill. And yeah, I won't get into that right now, but like, over time I start, and I think it's because I spent a lot of time processing what was said, but not necessarily like, oh my gosh, I want to be with him. Like, I wasn't thinking about him because I missed him. I was not missing him. I was thinking about him because I was so disappointed that I ever even met him. No, shame, that's so harsh. Gosh, that's mean. Oh, love him with the love of the Lord. I love him with the love of the Lord. It's true. Oh my gosh, yikes. It's true in the sense that I've forgiven him. I think it's much better to be at that place than to have a grudge towards anyone that you dated. Like, I don't want to be thinking about you and have a bad day. I don't want to think about you at all. Like, but if you come to my mind, I don't want to be like, oh my gosh, like, oh, I'm so annoyed. This person came to my head. I'm angry now. Like, I'm annoyed. I'm irritated with this person. Ew. Like, what about the ice cream that I literally just bought and the tiny cheesecake from Chateau Gâteau? Yeah, no, the cakes are really small. Bite-sized, I will say. Some of the cakes, I mean, they do have decent sizes, but, you know, if you want to get, okay, so like a slice of cake. You know, your regular slice of cake, your average slice of cake is about $50, okay? So their $50 slice of cake is very small, which I don't have a problem with. I just didn't expect it to be like that when I got the order. Anyway, why are we talking about this place? Yeah, so my life is so amazing. It's wonderful. I'm so happy. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy. Yeah, no, okay. I am really happy. I am. But like happy, I said happy and I feel like, oh, okay, happy. You know, I have years on my belt of editorial experience. I think I can mix it up a little bit and maybe think happy. Okay, like, can't we choose a different word? I'm content. I'm so content with my life. And content and complacent, two different things, right? Completely different things. I am so content with my life, and I really am so happy that I'm me. And this is my YouTube channel, so kind of, I mean, it's my YouTube channel, right? Like, what else am I supposed to talk about? The channel is called Khadijah Duarte, okay? So what? Must I talk about someone else? This is about me. So yeah, I will definitely get pretty personal. And I don't always want to show my face not because I'm self-conscious, because I'm definitely not self-conscious. I really love how I look. I'm definitely not self-conscious, yeah. Like, not at all. So, no, but I'm not. Like, not really, at least. I mean, sometimes the devil tries me with word seeds. And I'm just like, well, I'm not really a gardener. So, yeah, like, what am I going to do with these seeds, bro? I don't want them. Give them to someone else, dude. Like, I'm not a gardener. So, yeah. Then so it's tempting for me to be self-conscious sometimes about myself. And I feel like some level of self-consciousness is good. For, like, I mean, just being considerate and stuff, you know, just basic human decency, whatever that means in your culture. And gosh, I can't believe I just said that. Whatever that means in your culture, because it's like I'm very, whatchamacallit, I love Jesus. So, but I've also come to learn and understand. Well, I mean, I've come to understand that culture and a religion are like a little bit different in a sense. So, for example, the kind of clothing that people wear in a certain culture it's not necessarily going against, it's not necessary, and I say necessarily because there's some cultures where it's like, okay, it's your culture, and and it's you don't, it's not even apparently tied to your religion. Look, I don't want to get all philosophical and theologians and stuff, because I have not done my research and I don't really care. I'm just thinking out loud. And that's why I thought, if I'm going to talk to the air, I might as well record it. So, yeah, and then I'm going to be like, okay, we'll do something with the we'll do something with the recording and like post it and just make $1 million or something. Gosh, I don't care. So, okay, yeah, I think I need to completely pivot and just talk about something else. Because I was talking about a variety of things and I have not finished what I could say about each of the things I was just talking about. And I was thinking, you know what, again, this is my YouTube channel, so I am just gonna completely move on to something else. Yeah, what else can I talk about? I mean, I'm so excited to get a new apartment, really. So I've always wanted to have my own apartment in Cape Town. And when I say my own apartment, I mean I'm not talking about owning, not yet. I'm renting, yes. But when I say my own apartment, I mean I'm no housemates. So it's not like I don't know what it's like to live on my own. But I was okay with the whole housemate thing. It was fun for a while. It was really fun for a while. And I knew that eventually I'm going to want to continue to do that thing where I live by myself. But this time in Cape Town. So I've lived in Cape Town since 2019. But I have gone back to Joburg. I've visited family and for extended periods of time. On 2 occasions. One was for about 3 months and the other time was for almost 2 years. So I mean, you could say I almost lived there again. Almost lived there. Yeah, no, I did. I lived there again, but it wasn't, I wasn't like, yeah, I'm done with Cape Town. I knew I was gonna come back. So Cape Town is my home. So if I don't go into the whole detail, let's say I meet you and I just don't want to get into it and you're like, how long have you been living in Cape Town for? I'm going to say 2019 to summarize. I'm just not going to get into saying, yeah, well, but then if you count, okay, so 2019, but there's a catch. I ended up at Joburg, da-da-da-da. So, yeah. I gave you the long story and then I gave you the summary. I've been in Joburg. I've been in Cape Town since 2019 and I love it here. This is a beautiful place. And honestly, I mean, I've lived in a few different places in Cape Town and I shared every time. I want to have my own space in Cape Town, and so that's what I'm going to do. And I know that it's like, oh my gosh, but Cape Town is so expensive. Yeah, but that's not what, that's what a lot of people will say. Cape Town is expensive, and it's like, okay, that's not, yeah, I saw the prices. I saw the prices. I definitely saw the prices. But I'm not going to let that stop me. And no, when I say my own place, I'm talking about a place that I actually really would, I really want to stay at. Not, oh yeah, I'm settling, but at least I have my own place. No, I want the full package. And so that's what I've been working towards. And I'm so excited for that time to come. I really cannot wait. And I definitely will be taking content of my new apartment. I'm so excited. Wow. So, but these past couple of months have been completely, I don't want to say life-changing, situation, location changing, home address changing, job changing, yes. And yeah, I was in hospital for a month, and not once did I get depressed when I was in the hospital. depression isn't something that I don't get depressed. But when I got out, and it's not to say that I've never been depressed before. I mean, I spent a lot of my childhood being depressed. And I say it in those words because a lot of the time I got comfortable with it. And so, I was just like being so comfortable with this feeling that I even would say oh my gosh, I would even say things to myself like, or not say things to myself, but like think things to myself. But I would, of course, deny to myself that I was thinking this because it was like, no, that's so cringe. But it's like, I used to think, no, I'm definitely the most depressed person in the world. Yeah, like no one is sadder than me. Yeah. So, and then I was like, obviously, like, how do I really know that? I haven't met everyone, but I would run with that thought and I would make myself believe it. And so at some point, actually, because it's so crazy that mindset is so far from me, that saying that is such a distant memory that it's almost like almost like I'm talking about someone else. So yeah, at some point in my life, I thought I'm definitely the most depressed girl in the world. I'm definitely the most depressed human being in the world. No matter the age, nothing, like it's me. I'm the most depressed person. I wouldn't tell people this though, but I was definitely thinking it. And yeah, but that was so long ago. And so so that was one thing. And then in my early 20s, I had some rough patches here and there of being depressed, but it's not because of oh, this is how she was born. I was not ever born depressed. I was never born depressed. I was not depressed. I was the happiest kid. I was just because I wasn't smiling at you all the time doesn't mean I was depressed. Like, I'm just not smiling, bro. Like, chill out, So, yeah, but then I started believing that I was depressed. And also, there were also circumstances. So, yeah, there were circumstances that caused me to be depressed. Like, it was just, it wasn't a great time for a lot of things. So, yeah, I was depressed, blah, blah, blah. And also, I didn't really know that, I didn't understand the power of words and the power of your thinking and stuff. But one thing, like, even no matter how depressed I was, one thing I always believed about myself was that, I'm just going to be rich one day. Yeah, like, whatever. And not because I'm going to be happy if I get all this money. I always knew that wasn't that's not the reason that I wanted money. Like, it's just, I just want to have money, duh. Like, there's so much more I can do when there's money, so of course. Now, am I saying that, and I don't care what the bank account says right now. I'm 27 years old. I'm not at the end of my life. And even people who are way older than me, some of them only become millionaires then. Now, is that my goal? No, I definitely would not mind doing that much earlier. And now I'm putting this out there, gosh. And now imagine I'd never become a millionaire and people reject me and they call me a hypocrite. Gosh, that's so crazy. So freaking crazy. Because I'm just going to make sure that does not happen. I'm gonna make sure that doesn't happen. So I'll definitely update you guys when I become a millionaire. I believe it's already done. Like, I'm a millionaire in my heart. Okay, so now the rest is following the faith thing, then the action, the thinking. It's like, how do millionaires think? Like, how do they make money, and all that kind of stuff. Because, like, also, if, oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to break up this video / audio podcast talking about things, because there's so much I could say about this one thing, about my journey with quitting my job. And like, it's because I really believed God told me to do it, and I still believe that he did. But then at the same time, oh my gosh, no, I don't want to get confused, and then I'm going to confuse anyone who's ever like made it this far. But okay, one thing I can definitely say is that I know God will never want me to live in poverty. So I can confidently say that I do not believe that, oh, God made me sick. God made me suffer. God made me sick. God's doing no. God does not want me to be broke. No, he does not want me to be like suffering and, oh, like this is happening because God is trying to show me something. Okay, maybe people have some personal things that they can share about that, and I will be like, oh, okay, that's an interesting perspective. That's all right. I didn't look at it that way. But it's just like, I am so tired of believing that God like makes people sick, and then people don't want to get well. Because it's like, no, but it's God's will. It's God's will that I'm bedridden forever and ever, and I have no life and I can't do anything. It's God's will. Like, what is he trying to show you? Get up. Okay, yeah, shame. That's what Jesus said. So you cannot say, I do not, look, that's what he said. He said, get up and walk. Didn't he say that? Do you want to get well? So yeah, but back to me, because that was boring. Back to me, because look, I don't know, like, that's lame. I do not believe that people should be getting sick. No, just like stop that nonsense. But also, like, I'm not saying doctors are bad. Like, they're very necessary. And also, yeah, I am sharing what I've been learning as well from this Bible college that I've been going to during these couple of months, that my life has drastically changed. And I laugh because so about that depression thing, I started believing again, like that voice, that devil, I started believing I was depressed. Because I went to hospital, I was so stressed and I was overwhelmed with a lot of things. So I had a nervous breakdown. And so I landed up in hospital and I was there for a month. But shortly before I landed up in hospital, I quit my job because I believed that God was telling me it's time that I need to rest, because I need to rest because of what's to come. And I was like, okay, I knew that quitting my job was going to be scary for me. Like, I mean, not scary, but I knew that it was going to be, I'm going to have to really, there's so many dogs on the street. What in the world? And they're like not even making a noise. You can't even, oh, okay, well, when I stop talking, I can hear the footsteps. But yeah, so yeah, because the thing is, I know that I was made for more than to just be working for an employer for the rest of my life. Although I still want to work for an employer. It was definitely, my timing was off. Yeah, okay, so that was my mistake. I know, like, yeah, but I mean, this was still God's plan for me to go in a different direction anyway. So he's still doing that. But I did, like, try to help him out a little bit. So I did jump ahead and I quit my job a little bit too soon. So that was a mistake on my part. But the way he's turned it is almost like it was never a mistake. Like, I'm justified. Oh my gosh, I've said this already, probably in the previous podcast. I'm calling it a podcast because that's what it is. And yeah, so I'm just at a point in my life where I almost feel like I've never made a mistake before, but that's because I believe God so much that he loves me, and that there was no mistake that was too great for him to turn around. I mean, I'm not going to spend the rest of my life crawling on my knees saying, God, I'm so sorry. If it's your will, can you please help me? If it's your will, God, like if you don't mind, if you're not busy, God, can you please save my life? Like, seriously, didn't he already do that? So I was just like, dude, like if I am going to stay in this mindset, oh, okay, I'm just, you know what, I'm going to choose to be angry at God for the mistake that I made. And hopefully that's going to make him work quicker. By just like choosing to be angry with him, you know, that's going to make him work quicker, because I hear people say these stories of how they rejected God so much, and then he did this like miraculous, wonderful thing. Like they saw something so like a crazy, huge sign. And look, that is so wonderful. I love those testimonies. And I wanted it to be me so bad. And it just like it wasn't. So he wasn't like, I wasn't getting these signs where it's like, dude, it was so clear I could have recorded it on my phone, you know, with my video camera. So like he wasn't doing that. And so then I was like, okay, I'm just gonna choose to be like, I'm frustrated with God, like almost like this is all his fault, you know, he's put me in this situation. He did not do any of that. He did not do any of that at all. Ew, are you kidding me? That is disgusting. Yeah, so my life is not over. It's not over at all. But I definitely started letting the devil, like the seeds. I had a watering can in my hand, I will say. And I was like, am I actually a gardener? Because I think I can start watering these seeds. And yeah, I'm definitely depressed. I'm a failure. I'm crazy. I'm actually stupid. All of this. And it's like, bro, what in the world? So like, no. I don't believe these things about myself. I don't think that about myself. I think I'm gorgeous. I think I'm so intelligent. I offer value. I want people to believe the same things about themselves. That's why I'm confident about this job offer, and I'm calling it an offer. Anyway, I won't get into that right now. But yeah, like, God is good. Yeah. I just have to add that. If you can say the most confusing thing, and then you just throw in God is good, and then people will be like, oh my God, yeah, totes. Yeah. Yeah. So back to the luxury apartment thing. That I've always that little stump, the plan, it's still happening. It's still happening. Okay? I got off course, but like, it's still the plan. So people need to like remember that about themselves. Like, don't you have goals? Don't you have dreams? You just want to what? Like say, yeah, but it's too expensive. Dude, I didn't even pay for my college. You know who paid for it? I started a fundraiser. I asked for help. Oh my gosh, yeah, I know. That is so like, it's uncomfortable, because I like my independence. But you know what? It's like, if I didn't ask for help, was I going to get in the school? No. So it's like, either I get in the school and I ask for help and I get in the school, or I keep quiet because I'm too full of pride and I don't want to seem broke. I don't want people to think I can't do it. And then not get into the Bible college because I have so much pride. That's disgusting. That's lame. And you need to cut it out, you know? Yeah. So when I say you need to cut it out, I'm actually... Is this like a dialogue? God. Yeah, so it's still in the works. Like, he still wants me to prosper just because I made a mistake, or like I heard from God, but I like, he was just telling me, but he wasn't saying do it now. I've come to realize that when God speaks to me, he's not always saying immediately go and do this thing. gosh, I mean, how many car accidents would people have, like, if that was the case? Yeah, so how long has this been? I mean, it's been 40 minutes. I feel like I can cut it here. And just say that even if you go off course, yeah, just don't do that. Just get back on course. Okay, yeah. Just remember, keep your eyes on the prize. Keep your eyes on Jesus. Okay, just remember Him, and don't let that loser, that liar, pants on fire freak show, the devil, make you believe that, oh my God, like I can't do this because it's expensive, or like I'll never be able to afford this thing, or oh, I will never make it because I'm stupid. Like, okay, well, yeah, you're right. You are stupid then, because that's how you want to think. Okay, love you. Bye.